Howdy, I'm Henry Preby. This is my video supplement for my Debate Talent Scholarship application. I'd like to just address the weirdness of the lighting and the fuzziness of the video. The lighting in the back of my house isn't super great during the winter, especially in the back room where I am. I tried to adjust it with a little bit. I've got a desk lamp behind the computer acting as a spotlight right now so you can see me, but it does make me a little fuzzy and makes it so I kind of change color as I move. I'm sorry about that, and I know it's going to be especially bad after I've had to compress the video. I tried to fix it. This is the best solution. I'm sorry about that. Other thing. The video that I'm presenting will be a sample Congress speech, just general NSDA rules of 3 minutes plus grace period. I was not able to schedule time with a peer that worked to do a kind of mock questioning period, but what I'd like to do, if this is possible, is for the Scholarship Review Committee to shoot me any questions they have, kind of ask about what any questions they have about the legislation and my sponsorship of it, so I get a chance to A, be grilled at a collegiate level, but B, answer collegiate level questions and kind of prove my ability to defend my knowledge and ideas in debate, if that's at all possible. With that, I don't see anything else to talk about, so I'm going to start. And just for a note, I have the 3 minute time, the 10 second grace period, and then 5 seconds to kind of get me into position and stuff. With that, I'll begin. 44 million. That's the number of people in the American West who currently live in a region affected by megadrought, climate central. The issues that we currently face in the American West come from how we view and use water as a society. And that is why today I am sponsoring a resolution to amend the Constitution to establish personhood for rivers, because it addresses the issues with how we view water as a culture by incorporating traditional indigenous views on water. Now let's dive in. Let's talk about how we got here. Traditionally, we as Western societies haven't viewed water as part of the same cycle of life as us, but rather a resource to be used and exploited. As the Yale Environmental School describes it, the use as property causes leading to overuse and contamination, and that rather water is not a universal right but a corporate one. The idea of personhood in reaction to this, legal personhood in reaction to this, emerges from the writing of Dr. Charles Stone, where he argues that unless the rightless receive rights, we cannot perceive them except as use for us. Personhood is granting those rights to shift our views and shift legal paradigms. While Charles Stone wasn't the first to push the idea of legal personhood for natural entities, he was in no way the first to ascribe personhood to them. The various indigenous cultures of the Western Hemisphere frequently ascribe spiritual life to non-entities like rivers. This leads to indigenous groups have frequently been the spearhead for movements to recognize environmental personhood. Whether it be the Maori in New Zealand or the Yurok in California, we see how personhood is an incorporation of traditional indigenous views. And as National Geographic describes it, a seismic shift from the bedrock belief in Western society that humans are the apex of the natural world. The movement of personhood is a synthesis is an alternative to current Western views while using current Western legal systems. We see how in countries such as New Zealand, personhood is jointly monitored by both the New Zealand government and by Maori people. Now I want to talk about what personhood actually looks like, as the idea of personhood seems kind of ridiculous to some. The truth is, non-persons already have rights in America. Corporations are granted human rights in the status quo, primarily to sue and be sued. Elizabeth Pullman, UPenn law professor, describes the purpose of corporations as to put property into a collective ownership and hold with perpetual existence. If corporations are granted rights to protect property, why shouldn't we grant rights to protect our planet? Let's talk finally about what those rights are doing. George Washington law. Legal personhood can be conferred to non-human entities, treating them as people for limited legal purpose. This isn't the right to vote or to get married. Rather, it's the right to, quote, bring suits and have injuries recognized. It's just granting the ability for rivers to have their rights monitored and protected by both the government and indigenous people, and for this reason pass. Thank you. I'm going to end my timer. Thank you so much. Thank you for consideration. I hope to debate for Whitman. Thank you.